Hello, very good morning. Today our topic is keyboard. Explain various kind of input devices. In that topic we are going to discuss about keyboard. In the last class we have seen various kinds of input devices, different types of input devices used for different areas and different requirements. So in this class we are going to see keyboard. So keyboard, how keyboard functions and how keyboards looks, what is inside a keyboard, everything we are going to see in this class. So before going to discuss about the keyboard, just once we recall what is an input device. An input device is a computer hardware device that are used to give data and control signals. In computing, an input device allows the user to feed data into the computer for analysis, storage and process. Input devices accepts instructions and allow to interact with and control it. So this is about input device, a small information about the input device, description about input device. So here we can see various input devices: keyboard, mouse, scanner, webcam, MIDI keyboard, touchpads, trackballs, barcode reader, optical mark reader, optical character recognition, joystick, graphics tablet, video capture hardware, digital camera, gamepad, microphone, pen input, nothing but digital pen or stylus pen, electronic whiteboard, punched card and punched card reader. So these are the various types of input devices available. So here also we can see different types of input devices: mouse, keyboard, webcam, trackball, microphone, joystick, scanner, digital camera and touchscreen. So these are the various input devices available. So among this, now we are going to see about this keyboard. So keyboard is a basic input device that is used to enter data into a computer or any other electronic device by pressing keys. So here the keyboard is always called a standard input device for computer. Keyboard has different sets of keys for letters, numbers, characters and functions. Keyboards are connected to a computer through a DIN connector, that is old type, and PS2 connector and USB, or a Bluetooth device for wireless communication. So in these four ways we can connect. Now at present scenario, the USB connectivity and Bluetooth device for wireless communication connectivity are more popular. So this is a keyboard, typical keyboard we can see. So if you see the history of keyboard, general keyboard, Scholz and Gideon tried to make the typewriter first. So Scholz and Gideon tried to make the typewriter fast. However, one problem with the typewriter keys, the typewriters was having hammer bars used to strike the paper, and these hammer bars were jammed when the operator typed at any real speed. When operator was trying to type speed, nothing but in fast mode, the hammer bars were jammed. So later, Christopher Latham Scholz invented what was to become known as the Scholz keyboard around in the year 1874 for computing devices. Christopher was known for helping with the typewriters and the QWERTY keyboard. The present typewriter we are using is QWERTY keyboard. So here it is called QWERTY keyboard because in the top line the first five letters are QWERTY, QWERTY. with these 6 letters called its QWERTY keyboard. This is also called Scholz keyboard, circa invented in the year 1974. So blank keys are punctuation and special characters. Here uses of alpha characters by row. So in this row only 16 percentage. So in the middle row there are 32 percentage of alphabets. In the top row the 52 percentage of the alphabets are used. So this is called Scholz keyboard. The first keyboard was named the QWERTY keyboard. This name came from the top letters in a keyboard. So these are the top letters in a keyboard. The reason they continued QWERTY on the keyboard is because people liked the arrangement on the typewriter and they wanted it to continue the way it was. With that information, Christopher made the QWERTY. Next one is the Dvorak keyboard invented in the 1936. Dvorak turned his attention to the typewriter. He spent time to analyze the usage model of QWERTY keyboard. The result of his investigation was that although the majority of users were right-handed, the existing layout forced the weaker left hand to perform most of the work. Dvorak took the opposite tack to Scholz and attempted to find the optimal placement for the keys based on letter frequency and human anatomy. That is, he tried to ensure that letters which are commonly typed together would be physically close to each other. This is a Dvorak keyboard in the year 1936. The stronger right hand would perform the bulk of the work, while the left hand would have control of the vowels and lesser used characters. So here uses of alpha characters by row we can see in this last row there are 80 percentage, in the middle row 70 percentage, in the top row only 22 percentage. So this is one of the another type of keyboard, exactly opposite to QWERTY keyboard which we are using. The reason why Scholz was a success was because his most used letters were spread all over the place, making it easier to type. This was the one we use today, and he made it like it's made because then the letters that go together are split up and it is good for faster, more efficient typing. That is QWERTY keyboard developed by Christopher Scholz, which we are using in the present. This QWERTY keyboard used maximum for normal typewriters, and the same is adapted for computer keyboards also. A computer keyboard is a hardware device. If you see the history of a computer keyboard is a hardware device that functions in accordance with the instructions provided by the user. It comprises circuits, nothing but the computer keyboard comprises circuits, switches, and processors that help in transferring keystroke messages to the computer. A keyboard contains many mechanical switches or push buttons called keys. When one of these are pushed, an electrical circuit is closed and the keyboard sends a signal to the computer that tells it what letter, number, or symbol it would like to be shown on the screen. The computer CPU then shows the character on the screen, usually at the place where the cursor is. So when we press a key on the keyboard, and an electrical circuit is generated and that sends a signal to the computer, and the computer in between keyboard pressing and computer showing on the screen some things are happened, nothing but electrical signal will be generated. That signal is given to the given and recognized by the microprocessor, which is a separate microprocessor contained in the keyboard. The current keyboard layout or the QWERTY layout, which is based on the layout of the typewriter, was designed not to increase the speed of typing but No, but to slow it down in order to avoid typewriters from jamming. Types of keyboards according to number of keys it have, because in any keyboard there are certain number of keys based on the requirement. The device we use at present was modeled in the year 1940s based on the technology of typewriter keyboard. In general, most of the keyboards contains 80 to 110 keys depending on the operating system, the manufacturer, or the application it is made for. So based on the requirement depending on the operating system and manufacturer and also application it is made for, the keyboard types are like this: 82 or 83 number key Apple standard keyboard, 101 key enhanced keyboard, and 104 key Windows keyboard, and 108 key Apple extended keyboard. So these are the general number of keys available on the keys. So this is most generally used keyboard, 104 key Windows keyboard. So these number of keys depending on operating system, the manufacturer, or the application it is made for. So types of keys on the keyboard. In general typewriter, there are only alphabets, numbers, and certain special keys like left parenthesis, right parenthesis, star, and plus or minus alphabetical symbols like that. So plus or minus arithmetical symbols are like that. But in addition, in computer keyboard, there are additional keys are available. So here the device has not undergone too much of transformations ever since it was introduced. Additional keys have been added, and of course, and it is available in a customized version in every electronic appliance with practically the same format, save a few keys here and there, like the laptop, iPad, smartphones, and etc. So there are four basic types of keys available on the keyboard. Those are function keys, typing keys, numerical keys, control keys. So these typing keys generally includes all alphabetical letters, 26 alphabetical letters. Special function keys are also available. In addition to these, numerical keys and control keys and special keys are also available. So here we can see the number of keys. These are number keys. Here we can see number keys, 0 to 9, and these are all function keys: F1, F2, F3, and so on up to F12 and F10 based on the keyboard which we are using. And these are all alphabetical keys, and these are command keys. Here also we can see command keys. So this is a typical layout of the keyboard, and these are the types of keys available on the keyboard. So working of the keyboard has its own processor and a circuitry, a majority of which forms an important component called the key matrix. So keyboard contains a key matrix because an important component that is nothing but key matrix, and it has processor. Keyboard has its own processor and circuitry. The key matrix is a collection of circuits under the keyboard which is broken at a specific point under every key, which results in making the circuit incomplete. When any particular key is pressed, it completes the circuits, thus enabling the processor to determine the location of the key that was pressed. So when a particular key is pressed, this completes circuits and enables the processor to determine the location of the key, and what key was pressed it determines. Here we can see the key matrix under the keyboard. This we can see inside the keyboard. This is called key matrix. Beneath each key there is a little hole which is at the top of a long round bar. This can be observed by dismantling a key of the device and notice it. Now, when a key is pressed, this bar pushes through the wall, thus making contact the circuit layers below. Inside the wall, there is a little tiny piece of rubber that prevents the key from moving down and pushes it back when released. So inside there is a hole, and also it has a small piece of rubber, nothing but tiny piece of rubber that prevents the key from moving down further, and again it pushes it back when it is released. The springing factor of the key is due to this reason. So how the keyboard detects which key has pressed? So when a key is pressed, a switch is pressed which completes the circuit and allows a tiny amount of current to flow. A processor analyzes the position of the keys pressed and sends this information to the computer, where it is sent to something called the keyboard controller. So this is most important. When a key is pressed, a switch is pressed. This completes the electrical circuit and allows tiny amount of current to flow. The processor which is in the keyboard analyzes the position of the key pressed and sends this information to the computer, where it is sent to something called the keyboard controller. This controller, the keyboard controller, processes the information that is sent by the keyboard's processor and in turn sends it to the operating system. The operating system then checks this data to analyze if it contains any system level commands like control, shift, escape key, combination of these three example, which is the key press to bring up the task manager. If such system level commands are present, the computer executes them. If not, it forwards the information to the current application. The application then checks if the keys presses relate to commands in the application like control P, which is the key press for print command. Again, if there are such commands, they are executed first, and if not, then these key presses are accepted as content or data. All this happens in a fraction of a second, so even many keys are pressed, there is no lag in the system. What actually happens behind the scenes that there are three separate layers of plastic on the keyboard. Two of them are covered in electrically conducting metal tracks, and there is an insulating layer between them with holes in it. Dots can be seen at the places where the keys press the two conducting layers together. There are lines which are electric connections allowing tiny electric currents to flow when the layers are pressed tied to one another by a key moving down from above. So like this, when a key is pressed, the top and bottom contact layers come together and the keyboard sends a signal to the computer, just like here this upper conducting layer, this one, and this is lower conducting layer, and this one insulating layer. So as it said, there are three plastic layers. So there are three separate layers of plastics. So these are the separate layers. This one is the upper conducting layer, this is the insulating layer, and this is the lower conducting layer. So two of them are covered electrically conducting metal tracks, and there is an insulating layer. So here this upper conducting layer and lower conducting layer are conducting metal tracks, and the in between middle between these two is an insulating layer. So when we press on this T key, so here finger presses a key when we press on it, and this two will be come into contact. So layers touch through the wall, and there is a wall between these two, and these two layers touches here, and these two come to contact, and a signal travels from keyboard to computer. So these connecting the electrical contact, and when we press on it, electrical power flows here, and a signal travels from the keyboard to computer here. The microprocessor control circuit, okay, here we can see this microprocessor which is present on the keyboard. It is a separate processor apart from the regular microprocessor in the computer CPU, and this is another microprocessor which processes and acts as controller in the keyboard. When we press a key, it receives first and analyzes which key is pressed, and gives the information to the computer. Character mapping. The key matrix is a corresponding chart or character map that is stored in the read-only memory of the computer. When a key is pressed, the processor looks up the position of the circuit that was closed or completed with the character map and determines which key was pressed. All the keys are mapped and stored in the memory. Example, in the character map, if just the location of the X key is determined to be pressed, then the resulting lowercase alphabet X will be displayed or taken as a key press. But if the location of the shift and X keys have been determined to be pressed, then the resulting uppercase character X will be displayed or taken as a key press. To put it simply, keyboards use switches and circuits to change keystrokes to format the computer understand. Every keyboard contains a processor that does the work of translating the keystrokes or the keys pressed to the computer. This is a character mapping in the keyboard. So, types of switches on the keyboard, if you will see, there are two types of switches that are used to complete circuits in keyboards. Some of them use a capacitive process instead of the mechanical one described. In this process, the circuit is not broken and current passes through it continuously. However, each individual key has a plate attached to it that moves closer to the circuit when pressed. This movement registers with the key matrix, causing a change in the electric current flowing through the current circuit. This change is then compared to the character map, and the location of the key pressed is determined. Mechanical switches includes rubber dome switches, membrane switches, metal contact switches, and foam element switches. Of these, rubber dome switches are the most common as they have a good tactile response and are fairly resistant to spills and corrosion, in addition to being relatively inexpensive and easy to manufacture. So these are the types of switches, mechanical and capacitive switches. Two types of switches are capacitive and mechanical switches. So among mechanical switches that include rubber dome switches, membrane switches, metal contact switches, and foam element switches. So here we can see capacitive switch. So in this capacitive switch, a steel plated PCB, printed circuit board. This is conical spring, and here MX compatible stem, electrostatic layer, this one, and here housing, this one keycap. So this capacitive switch, here also you can see capacitive switch. Controls this control spin, here double-sided PCB in the printed circuit board. There is a conical spring, here also we are conical spring, and this is housing. Here we have electrostatic layer, and here has compatible stem and also keycap. So this is called capacitive switch. Here we can see rubber dome switch. This is a rubber dome switch in the keyboard, and these are membrane switches, membrane switch keyboard. This one. So these are the types of key switches on the keyboard. We can see. What is under the keys? Generally we are using keyboard. Every day we are pressing the keys on the keyboard. So what is under the keys? Pull a key off the keyboard and we can see roughly how it works. There is a little hole in the plastic base and the keyboard has a long round bar in the same shape. When we press the key, the bar pushes down through the hole to touch the contact layers below. Inside the hole, there is a little tiny piece of rubber that stops the key moving down and pushes it back when we release it. This is what gives the spring to the keys. So here we have the key, what is under key. So plastic layers that detects the key press. So bottom panel. So pull a key of the keyboard. When you pull like this, we can see roughly how it is. There is a little hole in the plastic base. Here, little hole in the plastic base, and the keyboard has long round bar in the same shape. So here, when you give the bar pushes down through the hole, touch the contact layers below. So this bar pushes this hole here, and beneath this there is a circuit which contacts and which generates electric signal. So inside the hole there is a little teeny piece of rubber that stops the moving down. So this rubber stops the key to moving down further, and moving down pushes it back. This gives a spring in the key, spring to the keys. So here we can see the key when we pull up. When you pull up the key from the keyboard, here we can see the hole. When this key is pressed, a small piece of rubber is there. It prevents the further moving of the key. But when we press a key, inside this there is an electric circuit contact. That contact will come into and flows some current. Nothing but sends an electrical signal generating some key is pressed. So take up the keyboard's button panel and we can see how it all works from beneath. We can see the transparent plastic contact layers that detects key presses. Through these layers, we can see the round bars poking the keys down from above. The green rectangle at the top contains the small LEDs that activate the indicator lights for num lock, caps lock, and scroll lock. Notice also the cable running along the inside of the case at the top of the keyboard, which carries electrical signals from the keyboard to computer's USB port or PS2 port on the older machines. Here we can see inside the computer keyboard. Here this is the processor or processor circuits. This is nothing but keyboard matrix. So here these are all electric circuits. Here also we can see inside the keyboard. This is the top, and between there are layers, plastic layers. So peel back the electrical contact layers. We can see the bottom of the keys where the key pressed down. Here we peel back the all layers of the plastic layers. We can see where electrical signal passes. Balancing in the fingertip, we can see one of the little rubber pieces that makes the keys bounce up and down. This is rubber tip, which keys bounce up and down, which makes the keys makes up and down. So notice the pattern of electrical tracks and the contact layers here. If you pull up, we can see the electrical contacts here. So this is the magic part of the keyboard. There are three separate layers of plastic that work together to detect key presses. Here these are plastic layers. Two of them are covered electrically conducting metal tracks, and there is an insulating layer between them which holds in it. The dots we can see are places where the key presses the two conducting layers together. The lines are electrical connections that allow tiny electric, tiny electric. The dots we can see are places where the key presses the two conducting layers together. The lines are electrical connection that allow tiny electric currents to flow when the layers are pressed tied to one another by a key moving down from the above. So here we can see the holes, each one represent a key. So these are the plastic layers. These are covered electrically conducting metal tracks. So metal tracks. There is one set of electrical connection on the lower sheet of plastic printed in light gray. The other set is on the upper sheet of plastic and printed in dark gray. The two sheets are kept apart by a clear plastic layer except that at the holes, which is where the key is pushed down to make the two sheets touch. So here we can see these are the electrical circuit. Whenever we press, this is rubber beneath the hole, and we press electrical contact, process the current. When a key is pressed on keyboard, the keyboard controller detects the keystroke. The controller places a scan code in the keyboard buffer indicating which key was pressed. The keyboard sends the computer an interrupt request telling the CPU to accept the keystroke. Operating system response controllers repeats the letter if else. So this is the process of working of keyboard. When a key is pressed, the keyboard controller detects the keystroke. The controller places a scan code in the keyboard buffer indicating which key is pressed. So this corresponding scan code will be sent to the system based on detection of the keyboard controller. So here keyboard controller plays a key role in accepting the key presses and converting that key press to a scan code and corresponding code, nothing but an ASCII code, and that corresponding code will be sent to the computer. The keyboard sends the computer an interrupt request telling the CPU to accept the keystroke. Operating system response controller repeats the letter if held. So like this, if key is pressed on the keyboard controller takes care of it. The keyboard controller sends the scan code for the key to the keyboard buffer. The keyboard controller sends an interrupt request to the system software. The system software responds to the interrupt by reading the scan code from the keyboard buffer. Then the system software passes the scan code to the CPU. So this is the process of keyboard working. The first one, when key is pressed, the keyboard controller sends the scan code to the key to the keyboard buffer. The keyboard controller sends an interrupt request to the system software through keyboard buffer. Then the system software responds to the interrupt by reading the scan code from the keyboard buffer. Then the system software passes this code to the CPU. So there are two types of keyboards based on the connectivity. Keyboards are divided into two main categories based on the input method: wired keyboards and wireless keyboards. So wired keyboards. A wired keyboard means there is a wire connecting the keyboard to the computer. At the end of the wire is a USB plug that goes into a USB port on computer, or PS2 connector that goes into PS2 port on computer. Wired keyboards are extremely reliable. There is little that could go wrong with this direct connection. The drawback to having a wired keyboard is that the distance is limited between the keyboard and the computer. We can only have the keyboard as far from the desktop or laptop as the wire length. So according to wire length of the keyboard only, we can set the keyboard before desktop or laptop. Beyond that keyboard wide length, we cannot use the keyboard. That is a drawback. And also wires can clutter the desktop. This is most important disadvantage with the wired keyboard. But the modern keyboards are coming with the wires without clutter. In the olden keyboards were coming with the wires with clutter on the desktop. So this was disturbing a lot with the wire cutter clutter. So here we can see the keyboard, modern keyboard with the wire. There is no clutter at all. This keyboard is USB based keyboard. In older days, before this, there was PS2 model keyboard, and before that PS2 model keyboard also there was DIN type connector with the keyboard. Separate keyboard connector was there on the motherboards, and those keyboards are used to connect to that particular DIN connector only on the motherboard. But nowadays, those DIN connectors and PS2 connectors maximum replaced. So all the way the motherboards are coming with the USB facilities. So by using any device, the keyboards in general, we can say one thing here. In olden days, keyboard was coming with a special connectivity connector called DIN connector, and printers were coming with the special connectivity called parallel port connectivity, and the scanner also coming with the another connectivity, and even mouse was also coming with the serial port connectivity like that. But now the universal serial bus, after invention of universal serial bus facility, so these USB ports are available in maximum on the motherboard. 6 to 8 USB ports are available now. Otherwise, if you want, we can extend this by adding some other extra hardware. So here, the advantage of this is this USB based keyboard can be inserted to any of the USB ports available on the out of eight USB ports available on the motherboard. So this is a modern keyboard with wired. There is no wire clutter, and this is also USB based keyboard, USB based wired keyboard. So next one is the important wireless keyboard. A wireless keyboard is a computer keyboard that allows the user to communicate with computers, tablets, or laptops with the help of radio frequency, that is nothing but RF signal, such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, or with infrared technology. So wireless keyboard works with the help of radio frequency. So here the three technologies are there: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and infrared technology. You see, it is common for wireless keyboards available these days to be accompanied by a wireless mouse. Wireless keyboards can be extremely useful with computer peripherals, reducing cable clutter and allowing to control a computer without having to be physically next to it. So based on the frequency of the wireless keyboard, we can put and have the keyboard, and we can use the keyboard anywhere as per our requirement. Here this is wireless keyboard, and maximum today nowadays wireless keyboards are coming along with the wireless dongle, nothing but transceiver and receiver. How wireless keyboard works? Wireless keyboards based on infrared technology use light waves to transmit signal to other infrared enabled devices. But in case of radio frequency technology, a wireless keyboard communicates using signals which ranges from 27 MHz to up to 2.4 GHz. Most wireless keyboards today work on 2.4 GHz radio frequency. Bluetooth is another technology that is being widely used by wireless keyboards. These devices can connect and communicate to their parent device via the Bluetooth protocol. A wireless keyboard can be connected using radio frequency technology with the help of two parts, a transmitter and a receiver. The radio transmitter is inside the wireless keyboard. The radio receiver plugs into the keyboard port or via USB port. So here in this, radio transmitter is available on the keyboard, and receiver is separately we have. The receiver plugs into the keyboard. This can be inserted in the computer's USB, so that these two devices, this transmitter is already placed inside the keyboard, and this is a receiver at the receiver's end and at the computer. So we have to insert this device in laptop or computer and start working with this keyboard. So here the transmitter inside the keyboard and receiver which is connected to the laptop or computer can work together to exchange the information wirelessly. So the radio receiver plugs into the keyboard port or USB port. Once the receiver and transmitter are plugged in, the computer recognizes the keyboard and mouse if they were connected via a cable. Wireless keyboard technologies, you can see there are wireless keyboards can also be called as cordless keyboards. There are three major wireless technologies used in keyboard, that is infrared, IR, proprietary radio frequency, that is nothing but RF signal, and Bluetooth. All these technologies use a transceiver connected to the PS2 or USB ports on the keyboard. So maximum the transceivers are receiving in the form of USB ports on USB facility only, USB enabled devices only that can be inserted in the USB ports on the computer. So if you see infrared keyboard use light waves to communicate with computers. Infrared light is simply light when a wavelength too long to be seen by the naked eye and is a common transmission method for wireless devices such as TV remote controllers. The technology makes for a reasonably high data transfer rate but is rarely used for computer keyboards as it requires direct line of sight. In other words, the infrared keyboard will lose its connection if a solid object passes between it and the computer. So as infrared waves work on direct line of sight, so if any object passes between the transceiver and receiver, there will be objections, there will be interruptions and sending the receiver signal and also receiving the signal, that is nothing but loss of data. So next one, proprietary radio frequency. The radio frequency wireless keyboards are principally designed for long range use. They use a broadcast method similar to the Wi-Fi standard used in wireless networking to communicate with a computer or other device. This method of wireless transmission gives them a greater range than Bluetooth keyboards, with some models able to work at distances up to 100 feet. However, RF keyboards are something of a specialized tool and are generally more expensive than their Bluetooth equivalents. So this is about wireless keyboard type of radio frequency. So next one, the most popular one, wireless keyboard with Bluetooth technology. Bluetooth is one of the most popular methods of syncing a wireless keyboard with the computer. The technology is only effective over a short range, but it allows for reasonably high data transfer speeds and does not need a direct line of sight connection. This is the most advantage over um, radio frequency signal. As such, it is ideal for use with office keyboards as it creates a reliable connection that is not affected by on-desk clutter. So because there is no wire connectivity here, so that's why there is no desk clutter. Bluetooth keyboards are available in virtually all the styles that wired keyboards are, including ergonomically designed and Apple specific versions. So this is all about keyboard. We have discussed what is keyboard, how it works, what are the types of keys available on the keyboard, and types of the keyboards available based on the technology and based on the connectivity we are having. We are based on the connectivity. We have wired keyboard and wireless keyboard. In the wireless keyboard, we have different types of technologies: radio frequency technology, infrared technology, and also Bluetooth technology. So there are different types of keyboard keys available on the computer keyboard: function keys, control keys, alphabetical keys, and special keys and everything. These are used for separate functions of the key on the keyboard. The first ever keyboard was uh, invented by Christopher Latham Schultz, and those he has developed the QWERTY keyboard. Still we are using the QWERTY keyboard. Another keyboard was Dvorak keyboard, and that was not popular. QWERTY keyboard is very popular. Everywhere we are seeing the QWERTY keyboard. So inside the keyboard there are keys. In the keys, when we press a key, generally in the keyboard contains circuitry, microprocessor, and also three plastic layers. In between these two layers there is insulating layer, and the keys are arranged in a matrix way. This is called matrix. In the matrix arrangement in the inside the keyboard, when we press a key on the keyboard, that key is goes down, and there is a hole on the inside the keyboard that will press into the wall, and inside the wall there is a tiny rubber piece which prevent the further further moving the key into the further moving down, so it prevents it. And when you press on the keyboard, an electrical signal generated. That electrical signal is recognized by the processor which is in the keyboard and generate a corresponding scan code, and that corresponding scan code is given to the computer, nothing but the which a key can be displayed on the screen. So this is all about the keyboard. In the next video we will also see an animated video when how the key is pressed on the keyboard. Here we can see another animated video on keyboard, how the keyboard takes the information and display on the keyboard, display on the monitor. So what happens when we press a key? How the information is taking from keyboard to the system, we will see in this video. So key is pressed, when a key is pressed, that is displaying on the monitor. So as a keyboard, when we press a key like this, a key K is pressed, there is an electrical signal flowing beneath the keyboard, beneath the key. When we press a key, there is a plunger beneath the keyboard, any key. Thus, that plunger pushes these electrical contacts. So when we press like this will move down, and when we press, these two electrical contacts comes together and flows a current between these two. So like this, these two will comes together. So electrical flow is flowing, electrical is flowing between these two. So from this direction, when we press, the electrical flows, electric current flows, and we release, that will be opened. So when we press, these two wires come into contact, and electrical flows from this circuit. When we release, like this it is flowing. When we release it, this will be opened. When we press it, these two will close and come to contact, and current flows through this. When we release, the contact will be released. So this key press is recognized, sent to this keyboard processor, and this keyboard processor scans the code, and this corresponding scan code will be sent to the computer, nothing but k is equal to 25. And like this, it is sending the information. The keyboard is sending to the system through the keyboard connector. This is keyboard connector. Through the keyboard connector, through this wire, through the keyboard connector, it is coming to the RAM. It is stored in the RAM. So after recognizing it, the information goes to the CPU through this circuitry, internal circuitry on the motherboard, and CPU recognizes what the key is pressed, send the signal sends back to the RAM again here. So it comes to the RAM again. So like this, it is coming to the RAM. So after coming to the RAM, it is going from RAM to through the video card, and video card to the monitor. It is going, and here it is displaying the actual key which was pressed. So this is actual situation occurs when in the keyboard when we press a key on the keyboard. So thank you.